tar sands of Alberta are the second biggest pool of carbon on the planet. Jim Hansen at NASA, our foremost climatologist in the world, said recently that if we tap into them in a big way, then it's essentially game over for the climate. That's about all, in a sense, you need to know. We've got one planet. Probably best not to trash it, especially for, just another little fix of oil when the time has come to start changing the ways we power our lives.
That the new president would understand the intergenerational injustice of human-made climate change. That he would recognize our duty to be caretakers of creation, of the land, of the life on our planet, and that he would give these matters the priority that our young people deserve. We had a dream that the president would understand the commonality of solutions for energy security, national security, and climate stability, and that he would exercise hands-on leadership, taking the matter to the public, avoiding backroom, crippling deals with special interests. We had a dream that the president would stand firm as Abraham Lincoln when he faced the earlier great moral issue of slavery. And like Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, he would speak with the public, enlisting their support and reassuring them. Well, perhaps our dreams were unrealistic. It is not easy to find an Abraham Lincoln or a Winston Churchill. But we will not give up. There can be no law or no regulation that stops us from acting on our dreams. Have no doubt that if the Tarsands Pipeline is approved, we will be back and our numbers will grow. For the sake of our children and grandchildren, we must find someone who is worthy of our dreams.
Just like the coal, the oil, and the atom, we feel the press of the hand of time. Just like the ones who've gone before us, we feel the faith of the next in line. Like the power of one, the power of many, you've got to fight weakness with the power of might. You fight wrong with the power of justice, fight darkness with light. We feel the restlessness of youth. We hear the thunder of the lies. We hold aloft the light of truth. We raise the banner of our union. We lift our voices to the sky.
last night was a little bit different than other nights. It turned into a big collective action planning process. And the reason for that is because it's a state of emergency that was declared in Washington, D.C. And there was a decision made, and that decision was that we didn't want to tie up police resources today that could be going to a disaster relief effort with the civil disobedience component of the action. And what was decided, the reason that was decided was because we know that this action doesn't last just for one day, right? This action goes for 2 weeks, right?
Tarsands and the green, give the people what we need. Stop the Tarsands and the green, give the people what we need. Stop the Tarsands and the green, give the people what we need. Stop the Tarsands and the green, give the people what we need. Yes, we can. 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 Yes, we can.
The last time I was arrested was also for an environmental action about 6 years ago. This concerned a coal-powered plant out in Maryland that was in serious violation of emissions, and several of us got arrested, and it made a difference. So I hope we can make a difference here.
Great, thank you.
I'm from Sojourners, and we, with Tim Comfort over at Tell the Word, have invited so many of the religious community to come here today to the White House to extend our faith, to embrace our president, to encourage him to do the right thing.
I want you to take a moment and just really look into the faces of the people around you here. Just take a moment and look. You're looking into the faces of people who have decided not to turn away from this painful and destructive project.
I'm here because our planet needs this right now, that we need to tell the story in a much more powerful way than is currently being told, that Obama needs to make a decision. He needs to choose which side he's on and show that he's clearly standing with us and living up to his promises that he made during his election, that he's going to be lowering the sea levels, not raising them, and that he's going to stand up to big oil. And so we're waiting to see how he reacts. In fact, no, we're not waiting. We're out here demanding that he chooses the side of the planet and the people on it.
Indigenous communities and other communities have been fighting the Alberta tar sands for a very long time now. There's skyrocketing rates of cancer for people who live downstream. There's sovereignty rights issues. People's land and air are being directly poisoned. So it's not just an issue for climate change activists. It's a human rights issue. It's an air quality issue. It's a water issue. It's a healthcare issue. It's an animal issue. So pretty much, if you care about anything on the planet, then you're going to care about the Alberta tar sands.
I'm here because this pipeline not only represents, as Bill McKibben says, a fuse to the largest carbon bomb on the planet, but as a trade unionist, it also represents a dagger aimed at the heart of the future of the labor movement. Because if we build this pipeline, and money goes into old, dirty energy, money won't be going into the new, clean, green energy that I believe is not only what we need, but is what will help rebuild the labor movement.
So
This is pretty much the world on the line here, and that's why I'm here. I'm an environmentalist. I've started several environmental groups, and I've been working in that field for over 30 years. And this is the first time I've ever seen that it's important enough to actually give up my liberty to do this.
I understand that the tar sands are the second biggest oil deposit in the world after the Saudi Arabia oil fields, and Dr. James Hansen has said if we burn all the Canadian tar sands oil, it's game over for the climate. So I feel that I must do what I can to try to stop the burning of the Canadian tar sands oil.
I need to stand up for what I think is right and do what I can to protect the earth for my children and grandchildren and for the species.
We're at a crossroads, and we're coming to our last chance to keep the planet from horrible destruction.
I was on a North Carolina Legislative Commission for 6 years and heard scientists, geologists, arborists, foresters, geologists, all sorts of scientists and economists talk about the dangers of climate change.
Sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice your freedom temporarily for a greater freedom, and in this case, we're sacrificing our freedom temporarily, potentially, to be free from our dependence on fossil fuels.
Asking the president to do something that is entirely within his power to do. All he has to do is not sign this permit, and this pipeline can't be built. He doesn't have to ask any of the people in our increasingly dysfunctional Congress. He can do it by himself.
Turn me around, turn me around, turn
freedom.